And hey, everybody, welcome back to Security Live, special edition, streaming from the expo floor at Black Hat USA here in Las Vegas, Nevada, where it's very hot. I am one of your co-hosts for the day, Ryan Orsi, and I'm in AWS's security go-to-market team. I'm one of the leaders there, and I get to have fun with AI security, agentic security, network security, and of course, our AWS partners. Before we dive into today's conversation and introduce our mystery guest over here, let's talk about our other co-hosts.
Hey everybody, Brian Mendenhall. I lead the AWS Security Partner Strategy. I'm wearing sunglasses because it's Las Vegas and that's what you do indoors. So if anybody has any comments or thoughts on wearing sunglasses indoors, put them in chat. We are streaming live from YouTube. Make sure that you jump in there, ask questions, and make sure you ask difficult grilling questions to our guest, the man, the myth, the legend, Dan.
Howdy, howdy. How's it going? Dan Roth. I'm a solution architect and technical go-to-market lead at Plerion. So Plerion's a Australian-based, but now headquartered in the US as well, cloud security startup. Plug into AWS environments, make it super easy to know where to focus your energy when it's limited resources.
So we're going to ask the hard questions first, Dan. Now you're from Australia. You're now in the US. Plerion is Australian and US. What does football mean? I don't know, and I have to ask the source of authority, which is now you. So
football.
What shape is the ball?
Footy. Footy is what I'd go to.
Hey, now I don't know if that's appropriate. On the
This is also Australian rules football.
That's footy. That's footy.
There it is.
Football is going to be a British person from Bondi. Soccer. Yeah.
What did he just say?
He said soccer.
Oh, okay, all right.
You heard it live. An Australian guy said soccer. Important things here, people.
Breaking news. You heard it here on Security Live.
Exactly.
Dan, tell us a bit more about, well, I'd love to know more about your now move to the States, of course. We can weave that one in, we call it. But what Plerion does, what problem are you attacking here? Obviously, it's a very relevant time to be talking about what I think you're going to say. Is that enough mystery for you all out there?
Yeah, so Plerion's our second cloud security startup. So we, quite early on, built a platform called Cloud Conformity back sort of 2016 through 2019. That went on to become Trend Micro's cloud security platform, got acquired in.
Fantastic.
When we set out to build Plerion, it was really sort of extending that problem statement to say, previously we were focused on very large companies, right? Big CISOs with large teams, lots of resources. And back when we initially built the first CSPM, lots of alerts was sort of all right.
You made me so happy, man.
Where's the thing?
Where's the thing?
Where's the thing in the
Grab your $5 poker chip.
Yep.
Or their chocolates. I don't know. We're going to try to turn them into the casino here and see if we can cash these out. But Dan has sweared, and he needs to play the acronym swear jar. I think you said CSPM. Would you mind explaining that for the audience?
Oh, yes. Cloud Security Posture Management.
Love it. Pay up, buddy. Drop it in there.
Mate, I'm getting good at this. Getting rid of chips, not getting them back.
Sorry for the interruption, but we love the swear jar. The swear jar loves you.
Perfect. As I was saying, we were focusing on the big end of town, CISOs, big teams, getting lots of alerts, having a team to deal with it. These days, with Plerion, we've really focused on how can we simplify that as much as humanly possible. So when you're a DevOps engineer that has to do security on Thursday afternoons, or you're a CTO that, security is the responsibility, but not your everyday job, how do you know where to focus your time and energy? And Plerion does that by plugging into the AWS environment, looking across vulnerability, configuration, identity, network positioning, all that fun stuff, but then bringing it into a simple, hey, here's the top 3 things to do that if you do nothing else is going to improve your security posture. And then, with the advent of all the agentic security solutions, we've been super excited around how quickly we can take all that good data and turn it into an actual outcome and get the work done, opposed to just telling you what you need to do.
Well, if you're helping people make sense of an ocean of events and alerts and et cetera, what about agents from, helpy McHelpersons like myself that are vibe coding some agents, getting them out to the company, having users use them, and then maybe they're connected to some data sources. My intent for my agent was just to help us out to, streamline this product, the definition and beta testing process as we go to market with a new service. But that agent inherits my identity and my full scope of permissions, and as it navigates through the organization, it's producing alerts and it's touching databases and triggering things. How do you all deal with that at Plerion? The agent's intent as it moves through the organization, it's producing events and alerts. How do you determine that it's Ryan's agent with good intent but made a boo-boo versus some other like very malicious thing got in and is starting to navigate?
Yeah, for sure. So we've seen it just rise exponentially as everyone has. What we've really focused on is first, for these smaller teams, getting the foundations right, giving like a secure environment, making it really easy to say, by default, all these agent identities are wide open, and you leave a lot to the LLMs, to the model providers, in terms of them determining what they're going to touch, right? So what we do at Plerion is how can we help make a really strict identity where we can say, hey, give it here, just give it access to what it needs to give it access to, and control and then see all the tool calls. I think the other thing that's been really exciting is we've done a lot of work with the Agent Core and Bedrock teams and customers. We've got quite a few customers now adopting Agent Core and Bedrock. And we've been able to do some really cool things there as well around looking at like invocation logs and the agent traces, so you can see all the tool calls it's making, everything that's going on. And then again, making it simple to automatically put guardrails in place to control that.
So everything you're describing sounds amazing, and it sounds super expensive. Is this, are we looking at like, hey, if you're a Fortune 50 company on the planet, like this is aimed at you? Or like who we've got a ton of different listeners and viewers right now. Who are the people that you are building this for?
How many swear jar tokens will it take?
So there's really two sides of it, right? We do a lot with direct customers, right? Where there's maybe it's a DevOps manager, maybe it's one security engineer, and we focus on how can we make it as simple for them. But the other one that's really grown quite massively is the service provider or system integrator market, managed service providers.
You were tempted to say SI.
I was tempted.
MSP,
You nailed it,
but
buddy.
you fought the temptation.
Thank you.
Good job,
I'm learning. The strategy's working. So again, like no one's more, time conscious on how long they're spending on this stuff than the MSPs, right? Can I say it?
You can say it now.
Now
You can say it.
it's
It's been
fair
defined.
game.
The rest of your life, you are clear to say
Okay, thank
that.
God. Yeah. Wonderful. So what we've done is integrate a whole lot of agentic capabilities. Pleri is what we call her. Basically to...
Is it a figure?
It's a little figure. We got little figurines.
Is that on your shirt? What's on your shirt?
Yeah. Oh, no, this one isn't. This one isn't.
That's a Pleri horse.
Okay.
Yeah. There's
Pleri
one
corn.
there. Yeah. So what Pleri is able to do is then take all the data that we have, and again turn it into an outcome, create a PR for the fix, do all the ticketing, do all the automated investigation and remediation. So again, instead of just seeing a ton of alerts, what these teams are actually seeing is here's exactly what the issue is, why it's important, all the level 1 triage that's already been done, all the exploitation analysis, all that fun stuff, and then, hey, here's the fix ready to merge, give it a review, or, if you want to get wild, let it loose and see what happens.
By the way, what's the level of comfort out there with people to just go wild? Like take a code review or a code snip that's gone through your pipeline that Plerion has said, yes, trust me, bro. This one's safe.
This one's good.
Go ahead and merge to mainline. How many people are doing that in a fairly automated fashion? Is there still a human waiting to press the button? What's your take?
Yeah, like I think we're not encouraging anyone to just turn it on for day dot. Like it's certainly an approvals process, human in the loop. What we've seen a lot is some of our more AI forward customers, I'd say, have code review agents and stuff going. So while it's still going through a review process, it's not a human necessarily reviewing it.
Sure. Okay, that's good to know. Still on the hybrid model, folks. Skynet is not fully unleashed just yet, according to Dan. Now, tell us, Dan, the bottleneck. If you're in a security team, or you're running a security team, or you're just in a young company running an application and security alerts are coming somewhere to you in a dashboard and they're triggering emails and tickets and everything, where's the biggest bottleneck that you all see? And I think you have a really unique answer to that, but I'm just...
Yeah, I mean, I see it in a couple different places, to be quite honest. I mean, at first, you don't know what you don't know, right? Like, we work with a ton of teams that don't have really any sophisticated security tooling in place, despite what the Black Hat booth might indicate. So where they don't have anything in place, and we want to make it as, like I said, as simple as possible to say, hey, here is our state today, and the gap between where we need to be. So that's the bottleneck one, and from there, it's really that remediation capability, right? The customers we're working with, they typically have dev teams and they're doing lots of stuff, but they're focusing on what makes the beer taste better, right? In terms of product development and that focus, and so don't actually have oftentimes the ability to prioritize the security work that needs to get done.
That's an important point to make. Mendenhall's favorite analogy, because I've done this show with him 700-800 times, is the business is in the business of making spoons or steak knives, or in Dan's case, making beer. They may not be in the business of best triaging and prioritizing security events coming off of their IT infrastructure or the applications that they run. Really glad to see Plerion taking on that challenge to just give me the most important thing, and don't just complain about it. Give me a potential code fix to say yes or no, or not yet to. Yeah. I think from personal experience here too, surprising. I wonder what Brian and Dan would say here, but I think one of the biggest bottlenecks is just tools that rise up priority of events over and over and over, and without the possible remediation steps. Or if the remediation steps are in there, it's really a code fix that needs to be done, right? And they don't provide that code fix. They just provide hey, this thing's really important today.
And I want to stack on that, Ryan, because how many times, like for those of you that are watching the show, how many times have you started something? And it can be anything. Maybe you're not a developer. Maybe you're a GTM person, or you're a salesperson.
Whoa!
Crazy thought. Those people don't exist. But
GT what?
Oh yeah,
GT
just
who?
throw it in. I prepaid. If you put chocolate in my face, I will eat it. Those are made of chocolate. I know it. I will eat it before it makes it in the jar. But
go to market case.
I love it.
I knew it, but I just love to.
How many times have you started something like, hey, this is really cool. I'm going to get started on this. I build something, I write something, and then something comes back. Someone somewhere in another room, Jeff in accounting or something like that, goes,
Dang it, Jeff.
By the way, you need to fix this. You need to fix that.
We call that application security.
Application security. And it's like, but it does the thing, but they need help finishing the work. And sometimes like that finishing the work, Dan, it looks like a stack of papers. TPS reports, get those things off my desk. How does Plerion help those people like finish the work and get that stack of papers off their desk?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think one of the things that I've seen that's been really awesome to see is that MSP community, right? Plerion underpins the cloud security practice for like over 50 MSPs. And so what we do there is customers will often come to them, or they are the ones telling them, hey, here's the stack of papers. And here's a dollar figure attached to it for me to go and fix it. Yep. And what Plerion allows us to do is when that comes to the security work, going through the compliance process, whatever it may be, again, automate a huge amount of that to really speed the whole process up and give time back, again, so they can focus on making spoons and steak knives.
I keep wondering, Dan, with folks like Plerion here that are helping to really... a year ago, 2 years ago, we would talk about the cybersecurity skills gap. We would say something, different analysts would say there's 1.5 million cybersecurity jobs that are available. We need more people. And now AI came to the scene. Folks like Plerion have used it to produce a really cool product for you all. I'm curious what your thoughts are. Like, are we still in a position where we need to hire more security professionals? Or, I guess the other answer is, like, do we need more AI professionals that know a little bit about security to kind of operate tools and orchestrate these things together?
I'm still yet to meet with a DevOps engineer or security person that's just like, we've got too many people and not enough to do, help. It's still, I find as development has grown like so exponentially, the workload for the folks that need to keep it secure has also grown exponentially. So I agree, I think there's a bit of I don't think people are hiring as much directly into pure cyber jobs. But if you can help keep development secure across infrastructure and the application security side of it, there's always a role there for it.
And how, I'm curious, like, I mean, it's super interesting that you are in the MSP, I can say that now, MSSP, Managed Security Service Provider, which I feel like those are converging.
One Mississippi, two you got there.
Did I get there?
You got there.
I
yeah.
did the thing?
You got there in time.
How are they adopting AI? I mean, across the board in managing multiple accounts, multiple security outcomes across an entire life cycle that starts with like DevSecOps planning and like security and threat detection. How are they are adopting AI? And you do so much. Is there a specific slice of that you're seeing? They're starting with that and then moving their way across?
Yeah, it's we've seen it a lot in like the compliance and assessment point of view. You guys have a similar thing with the SHIP program, Security Health Improvement program.
Very nice.
And which we're one of the tooling partners. Again, trying to cover that gap of you don't know what you don't know yet, right? And so how can we come in and say, here's your current environment, here's the top 1-2 things that if you were to do nothing else that you should focus on, and then here's the broader plan to get to a really, really secure state.
You're a AWS partnership partner?
I'm a partnership partner.
Am I going to see you in San Francisco at the end of the month?
Yeah, you sure am.
You all should be looking online for how to get into the AWS partnership training course in San Francisco, August 27th.
3 weeks.
3 weeks from now.
That's right, man.
Hit the interwebs.
Amazing. I'm kind of curious now because we're like, hey, we're talking about AI. We're at Black Hat and talking about AI security. Under the hood, correct me if I'm wrong, but Pleri's running, you mentioned Bedrock and Agent Core. What did building on that stack tech teach you about securing it? Because it's like using it
good question.
to secure, my mind explodes a little bit.
It's a lot. I really enjoyed this journey. Like we've seen the Agent Core solutions really change over. Well, I mean, when we first started building Pleri, they didn't exist, and then we've seen them grow, and we've become a major adopter. There was a lot of visibility gap, right? We were encouraging dev teams, like our dev teams, to use Agent Core and Bedrock very, very aggressively, but we didn't have. We used Plerion to secure Plerion, and we didn't have real visibility over it. So we sort of got to dog food it a lot and say, hey, here's all the things that we need to know about, right? If you're building an agent using Agent Core or whatever, here's what's important, the tool calls that it's making, and then looking at like the intention side of it. So, hey, when you build this agent, what was the intention of it? And as a result of that, what should it be able to touch? There was very little visibility on that. And so that's where we built Plerion's agent security capability to, again, bring visibility, see where tool calls are being made, see where they're risky and they're not aligned to the initial intention, and then flag that up and put guardrails in place autonomously to secure that.
Feels like an evolution of what we used to talk about with identities and humans, but it feels a little bit of like the identity story, Dan, is changing with agents. Would you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, what you just said, you like not having visibility on an agent's intent, what it has access to, what it doesn't have access to, what it should return, what it should not return. If you think of that agent as like analogous to a human employee, and someone's in accounting, and the next day they're messing around with source code, that's a little fishy.
Yep. And I mean, it's the same thing, right? Like, hey, I need some information about this customer. Ask your agent, look it up. Where is that going to go? What's it going to touch? Are you going to pull information that you maybe shouldn't and isn't relevant to the job role? That's what we, again, want to make super simple to secure, because it has been really complicated, quite a journey for us. And so the focus then was just abstract away the hard parts and try and make it as simple as, hey, if you do nothing else but these 1 or 2 things, that should be the approach.
So how do people kick the tires on Plerion, Dan? They have to cut you a check right away, donate a child? What do they have to do?
Free to start.
Free to start?
Just pop Plerion.com. We're transparent. You spin it up yourself. It's 1 click, connects to an AWS environment. You're off to the races. And if you want to do that assessment process, the SHIP style engagements, we do hundreds of them each year in collaboration with the AWS team.
Awesome.
Where we go in, tell you exactly where you stand today from a security standpoint, what's that gap analysis to where you want to be, and align it to any business objectives right around maybe they're going through a compliance program.
Lovely.
I love it.
Dan, just one final question before we have to cut out of here. What's for lunch?
A steak.
Wow.
My man.
I'm going big.
My man. My man,
Proud
what
of
kind
that
of steak?
answer.
What kind
Proud
of
of
steak?
that answer.
Australian.
Mate,
Wagyu?
anything medium.
All right.
Anything medium.
Dan from Plerion, thank you so much for joining us, folks. We'll be right back with more Security Live from Black Hat.